Hello and welcome back to Politics for Beginners. My name is Clinton. Today we are responding to a news story that broke over the weekend in regards to the NHL. For those of you who don't follow hockey, the reason I'm bringing up this story is because it strikes at the heart of a very key political and philosophical issue, the question between individual freedoms and team unity. We could understand this from the political realm as trying to address the question, are we allowing citizens to do whatever they want, or to what extent does the public good actually play a role in kind of curbing individual freedoms? This is one of the great tennis matches that we see in politics, and I'm not really going to necessarily give you a definitive answer by the end of this video. Really, hopefully, I will weigh both sides of the argument so you guys can come to the decision for yourselves. So, what the heck happened over the weekend, and why is the hockey community so upset? A little bit of backstory. For those of you who might not be familiar with hockey and don't watch it on a regular basis, the NHL used to have these things they call theme nights. Now, these theme nights represent various different causes, and I always found it strange how the NHL kind of grouped these all together. But essentially, the theme nights included military appreciation, so saluting our veterans, our men and women in uniform, where teams would wear camo jerseys. You also had pride nights to show the NHL's support, that they were allied to the LGBT plus communities, where you would see the rainbow on the jerseys. You had Aboriginal nights that paid homage to truth and reconciliation here in Canada, where you'd see orange jerseys, and you would have cancer nights where you would have purple jerseys. So different colors, different causes. These causes really have nothing to do with each other, but in terms of the NHL organization, they all got kind of lumped together into theme nights. These theme nights have been happening for a while. They've been happening for at least a decade. Different clubs represent them on different nights, and it's become quite a staple in the NHL. Now, what happened this year, October 2023, the NHL actually made the bold decision to outright ban theme nights across the league.
Pride jerseys at the NHL are about to be a thing of the past. The NHL says it will no longer allow what it calls cause-based warm-up jerseys next season.
So no more camo, no more pride colors, no more orange. It's strange, right? But all of these things, again, are kind of being grouped together. We are still having theme nights, but you can't actually wear the colors associated with these nights anymore. So in a weird de facto way, the NHL has essentially put a halt to celebrating these theme nights because they are banning the specialty jerseys associated with these nights. The reason they did this was because a minority of players didn't want to participate. I'm going to let Gary Bettman, you're going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. This is the NHL commissioner, and this is his rationale of why these theme nights got banned.
You don't endorse every single charity that solicits you, and you don't participate in every social cause. You pick and choose the ones that are important to you. The ones you don't choose to do don't necessarily make you bigoted, misogynistic, or homophobic.
So that's a fair answer. Individual freedom is very important. The obvious follow-up question is, if you don't want to wear the pride jersey, you don't have to wear the pride jersey. But why are you not allowing me to do it? This brings us to the headline over the weekend in regards to NHL veteran, Stanley Cup winner, Vezina Cup winner, Quebec's own Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury has played with many different teams throughout the league. He is right now with the Minnesota Wild. So back a few years ago when Fleury was playing for the Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks, he approached a local artist to actually create a custom Aboriginal mask. I'll show some photos of it here. Very cool art design. You know, goalies throughout the league have always put individual flair on their masks. I actually grew up in Toronto, and I have very fond memories of going to see Cujo, Curtis Joseph, and he had the jaws on his mask. I'll show a photo of that too. That always was such an iconic mask for me growing up with the jaws on it. So it's not uncommon for goalies to have these customized masks, and because Fleury was playing for the Chicago Blackhawks, he got an Aboriginal artist to create this custom design for him. A little bit of a side note, North American sports teams have had a history of kind of using Aboriginal characters and Aboriginal designs in their artwork. Even the Canuck jersey I'm wearing here, try and get a shot of it. This was inspired by Coast Salish artwork. Even though it's not commissioned by an Aboriginal artist, it was inspired by that. Probably the biggest offender of this was the Washington Redskins, the NFL team that has recently changed its name to the Washington Commanders, I believe. And there was a baseball team for a while that was just called the Indians. The Chicago Blackhawks, however, are probably one of the last holdouts in sport that continue to use Aboriginal-inspired art, probably in not the most respectful way, using the headdress of the chief. So as I said, very common for goalies to have customized masks, and in the case of Marc-Andre Fleury, Fleury has in the past gone to Aboriginal artists and asked them to, create customized artwork for him. The controversy really boiled over during this season because theme nights are canceled. And apparently that now means that you're not allowed to have any Aboriginal artwork anywhere on your jersey or your mask. So when Fleury this season went to a local Aboriginal artist in Minnesota, he wanted to have a design created that he could wear, and it's a beautiful design. And again, I'll show some B-roll of it here. It has the floral arrangements and the flowers that are common and native to the Minnesota area. It was commissioned by an Aboriginal artist. Get a shot of the artist here giving the mask to Fleury. Honestly, I really appreciate this. And this is kind of one of these things that, for a white guy, this is kind of a very small step on realizing truth and reconciliation. Let's actually incorporate Aboriginal art and Aboriginal culture into our day-to-day lives. So I think this is a big, applause for Fleury here. I think it's really good that he's actually taking these proactive steps. Now, the NHL has definitely come out as the bad guy in this scenario because they straight up fined Fleury. They found out about this mask, and I guess because it has Aboriginal markings on it, they disallowed Aboriginal Night, and they emailed Fleury's team and said that we are going to fine you and the Minnesota Wild Hockey Club. Well, Fleury kind of responded with double barrels. He ended up wearing the mask in warm-up, and he paid his personal fines and the fines levied on the Minnesota Wild. These fines are not public, but I can only assume they are of an absurd amount of money. Then again, Fleury is a multimillionaire veteran NHL player. This guy's been in the league for a long time. He's not really worried about the financials of it. And I'm really glad that he stood up for his principles and decided to wear the mask, decided to respect the artist in that way. So really kind of bringing this back to the political. The question on the table is, how much can we respect individual freedoms, and how does this conflict with team unity on one side? I completely acknowledge that some players would not want to wear the rainbow on their jersey or not want to wear Aboriginal art, and that is their choice, and we have to respect personal decisions. But why would you turn around and ban everything and essentially rob people of their individual freedoms by disallowing them to participate if they want to? So it seems like a very hypocritical statement. On one side, well, people don't have to wear the pride tape or they don't have to wear Aboriginal symbols if they don't want to. But if you do want to, you. I don't mean to swear. If you do want to, you can't. You can't. So it's very frustrating. It's very hypocritical. The NHL is definitely coming out as the bad guy in this scenario, and I really hope that they do reevaluate this rule next season. It is important to acknowledge that not everybody believes the same things. There is an expression in politics that is very close to my heart that says, I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend your right to say it. We all have individual freedoms. We do not have to get along, but you have to respect people's individual decisions. Wear the jersey, don't wear the jersey. I guess this begs the question, though. What happens when we're part of a team? When we're all supposed to be wearing the same thing? It really does raise an interesting question that we have to constantly come back to. Individual freedoms and team unity. You can't have both. There is no I in team. So I will leave the question to you. Are you a team player? Do you fall in line? Do you give up your individual rights when you become part of a team? Should everybody on a team or an organizational level wear the same thing, think the same thing, look alike, and be part of a unit? Or is it okay to have kind of like a group of misfits, that everybody is a little bit different and diversity is our strength? Well, that's about it. I just kind of wanted to rant about hockey, kind of wanted to wear my Canucks. The Canucks are doing really well. I actually can't believe it. I'm totally a bandwagoner. I also have a Montreal Canadiens jersey back there too. I got a Boston Bruins hat back there too. I like collecting hockey gear. I'm a big fan of hockey. Leave it down in the comments if you think hockey is the greatest game on earth. I hope this kind of made some of this political philosophy a little bit more relevant for you guys. Hope this was a little bit more of a lighter video. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you at center ice. Alfie's here. What do you got to say about this, Alfred? Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, comment down below. I'm happy to hear your thoughts. Give it a like and do share this with a hockey lover out there, because the only way that we get change is by making our voices heard. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Clinton, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and love.